Welcome, my dear students. So excited to meet you again in another episode of our program for English language for first prep under the supervision of the Ministry of Education. أهلا بكم أعزائي الطلبة في حلقة جديدة من حلقات برنامجنا للصف الأول الإعدادي للغة الإنجليزية تحت رعاية وإشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. We are still completing Unit 10. إحنا لسه بنكمل Unit 10. And in the previous session we have talked about how we can use well and differentiate between well and going to. احنا قلنا ان ال future well if I want to use it I have to use it in the predictions without an evidence and it should be followed by ال base form. تمام؟ وكمان اتكلمنا على ال different types of houses in the future or in the past and how they will be very different. Okay? Today we are going to complete Unit 8 and we will know how to talk about the numbers, how to talk about the years, how we can illustrate or explain or say a number of a year. تمام? Let's complete and let's start. At first, in this episode we have the reading part. هنبدأ بالreading. And in this reading part we are going to listen about how houses could be in different shapes. ازاي البيوت ممكن تبقى بأشكال مختلفة. زي ايه؟ Let's read together. Many traditional houses, traditional يعني classical يعني related to the traditions and customs يعني حاجة تقليدية. Many traditional houses in the past were round. Round يعني دائري، شكل دائري. Today many modern houses are also round. Why is this؟ تفتكروا ليه لسه شكل الراوند أو الشكل الدائري للبيوت مكمل معانا؟ There are lots of reasons. في أسباب كتير. A round shape means the building is very strong. This is important when there is an earthquake. What's the meaning of earthquake? Earthquake هو a very violent shaking in the ground. يعني هزة أرضية قوية جدا. Could affect a lot of destruction. يعني بتسبب دمار كبير جدا وعادة it causes by the movement of the earth crust أو بتبقى بسبب حركة القشرة الأرضية أو القشرة بتاعة الأرض. تمام؟ يبقى ال earthquake violent shaking in the earth أو violent shaking in the ground could cause a lot of destruction a lot of يعني تدمير كتير جدا and it's caused by the movement of the earth crust. بتبقى بسبب حركة قشرة الأرض. Winds also heavy snow or rain will fall from the roof. يبقى هنا هو بيتكلم على إن الراوند houses دايما بتبقى أقوى بتبقى very strong especially في الظروف الصعبة زي ال earthquakes أو ال strong winds الرياح القوية جدا. وكمان في ال heavy snow or rain will fall from the roof. وعادة برضو ال heavy snow أو العواصف الثلجية الكبيرة والأمطار. A round house is also easier to keep warm or cool. A round house أو البيت الدائري ده بيحافظ على الورم أو الكول يعني بيحافظ على درجة الحرارة بيحتفظ بدرجة الحرارة جوه البيت لو هي لطيفة أو باردة شوية أو لو هي دافئة. It's also quieter inside a round building than a building that's a rectangle or square. هو كمان دايما بيبقى quieter يعني أهدى لأن الصوت بيتوزع بطريقة يخليه أقل دوشة من الريكتانجل أو السكوير houses. تمام؟ اللي هي البيوت المعمولة على أشكال مستطيلة أو مربعة. Finally, a round building uses fewer materials, so it's cheaper to make it. Also has more space inside. هو كمان أرخص أو أقل في التكلفة لأنه بيحتاج materials أقل طبعا من السكوير أو الريكتانجولار shapes. وكمان هو بيبقى فيه enough space بيبقى فيه مساحة كافية inside the house. How fantastic وقد إيه ده شيء رائع. Look at the photos. احنا شفنا الفوتوز اللي قدامنا فيها different shapes, different types of houses and let's answer. What shape are all the houses? Why do you think they are this shape? كل الهاوسز اللي شفناها قدامنا كانت ايه؟ Excellent. round shapes، كانت أشكال دائرية. طيب let's know why they are round. هم أشكال دائرية because houses this shape is very strong، بتبقى صلبة جدا، بتبقى قوية. فقلنا زي ما اتكلمنا على الظروف الصعبة is easier to keep warm or cool، بتحتفظ بالدفء أو بالبرودة. It's quieter and cheaper to make and they have more space. Quieter أقل دوشة، cheaper أرخص and have more space وفيها مساحة كويسة جدا. طيب look at the words in red. احنا شفنا ال words in red. Read the sentences before and after the word, then match the words and the definitions. Okay. احنا كان في some words in red في الباسج. الwords دي احنا شرحنا معناها زي الورم، الكول، earthquake، السبيس. تمام؟ طيب let's بقى read the definitions and try to choose which word is suitable for each definition. Let's read together. أول حاجة an area that you can move around. an area لما بيكون عندك مساحة أو مساحة تقدر تتحرك فيها يبقى it's space. بالظبط space الفراغ أو المساحة المتوفرة قدامك. A nice temperature that's hot but not too hot. A nice temperature درجة حرارة معتدلة أو لطيفة. hot حارة but not too hot يبقى it's a of course it's warm دافئ. تمام. When the ground suddenly moves احنا اتكلمنا على ال violent shaking of earth أو ال violent shaking of ground. of course it's the earthquake أو الزلزال. تمام. okay. Read the text again and answer the questions. We have already read the text. Let's بقى answer these questions together. When is it important for houses to be strong? When is it important? ايه الوقت اللي بيتطلب ان تكون فعلا البيوت فيه قوية؟ Excellent. احنا اتفقنا in bad weather or during earthquakes. في الباد weather في الظروف المناخية الصعبة أو الجوية الصعبة، وفي earthquakes أو الزلازل. Are round buildings quieter than rectangular buildings? Yes, of course. احنا قلنا طبعا they are quieter and this one of the most important advantages to the round shape of houses. Why is a round building cheaper to build? Why? Why is it cheaper? هو ليه أرخص؟ Of course because it uses fewer materials. إحنا بنحتاج materials أقل when we build around house. Can you think of any disadvantages to a round house? طيب let's think together بقى. إحنا قلنا we have explained all the advantages. قلنا كل المزايا. طيب can you think in other disadvantages? أكيد everything has his own advantages and disadvantages. في المميزات والعيوب. طيب let's check بقى the disadvantages together. You can build fewer round house in a small space. طبعا of course if you have very small space it will be difficult to build round houses next to each other. هيبقى صعب ان حضرتك تبني round houses لان هي الكيرفز هتحتاج مساحة اقوى او اكبر. They are probably harder to build. طبعا it's harder to build برضو علشان it's easier to build a straight wall from building a curve or from building حيطة مقوسة. If you have round walls لو عندك حوائط مائلة أو واخدة الكيرف الدائري it's hard to put furniture next to the walls. طبعا you can put your furniture in the angles. ممكن تحط الفurniture بتاعتك في الزوايا بس in the round house will be difficult to put the furniture next to the walls لأنها هتبقى curved. To put up pictures وكمان هيبقى صعب ان انت تبتدي تعلق pictures عليها. طيب let's بقى go to the speaking and listening. Listen and write the years. Okay. Look at this. it's a very important note, by the way. If you are going to read a year or to say a year, the number of a year or the name of a year, what you have to say, how can you read it, ازاي هتقراه. We usually divide years into two parts. يعني احنا عارفين if I have مثلا 2150, I'll say it a 2150. I'll divide the number to two parts. هقسمها لنصين وهقولها 20 instead of saying 2000, 20 أو 21 لو هي 2100, والجزء الثاني هيبقى 50 or 60 etc. يبقى I have to divide the number to two parts. تمام؟ Okay. يعني look at this. I have 1986. If I want to read it, I'll say 1986. I'll divide it to two parts. 1986. تمام؟ Okay. طيب. For the year of 2000 هقولها 2000 زي ما هي. تمام؟ لأني مش هقدر أعمل لها dividing لأن all the numbers except 2 دي كلها zeros. هتبقى زيروهات. تمام؟ طيب. For the years 2001 or 2009 we say 2000 and the number. بقول الرقم 2000 as it is زي ما هو وبعد كده ببتدي أقول اليونتس أو بقول النمبر اللي عندي. طيب يعني 2001 أو 2006 2004 2005 etc. تمام؟ أوكي. طيب let's بقى look at these numbers. Hey, how can I read this year? إزاي أنطقها؟ Of course 2050. هقسمها to two parts. I'll divide it to two parts. 2050. 2035. 2020. 2020. Okay? 1992 1999 يعني 1999. تمام؟ got it يا ولاد؟ I think it's easier أو it's easier to say it or to pronounce it in that way. طيب here بقى we have some years and we have to read them together. أول حاجة excellent 1066. I'll divide the year يبقى 1066. 2000 احنا قلنا 2000 مش هقدر اعمل لها division هنطقها as it is يبقى 2000. بعد كده 1923 I can divide this 1923. 2008 2008. 3001 3001. 2075 2075 يعني 2075. تمام؟ got it? Okay, I think it's really it's easier to read it like this. طيب now بقى let's go to another part or let's move to another part and let's listen to Basil and complete the timeline. Let's listen to Basil. هنشوف باسل هيقول لنا ايه about his life. Let's read together. Basil, hi, I am Basil. They are the important events in my life. قدامكم أهم الأحداث اللي حصلت في حياتي. There are the important events in my life. I was born in 2007. أنا اتولدت سنة 2007 in Alexandria. I started school in 2012. أنا بدأت المدرسة 2012. I liked my school. أنا كنت بحب مدرستي جدا. I learned to ride a bike in 2013. أنا بدأت أتعلم سواقة أو ركوب العجل في سنة 2013. I love my bike. أنا بحب عجلتي قوي. In 2018 we moved new house. We moved يعني انتقلنا لبيت جديد. We live in Cairo now. In 2019 we went on holiday to the Red Sea. It was amazing. 2019 عملنا رحلة للريد سي أو للبحر الأحمر. It was amazing. It was wonderful, fascinating, etc. كانت رائعة. In 2023 I will climb mountain. Please notice that he used will here because he's talking about something in the future. هو لسه بيتمنى in 2023 I'll climb mountain Kilimanjaro. I hope so anyway. أنا بأمل ده. It's my dream. أنا بأمل إن ده يحدث. طيب look at the timeline بقى. Let's check the timeline together. أول حاجة he born in 2007. بعد كده started school excellent 2012. Learned to ride a bike 2013. Moved to a new house. Moved to a new house in 2018. Went to the Red Sea on holiday 2019. And the last thing in the future will climb mountain Kilimanjaro in 2023. تمام? I think now we have answered the timeline, or we have seen the timeline of the most events, the most important events in Basel life. الwriting skills بقى يا ولاد. How to write, how to be good at writing. Read and match the sentences with the pictures. Here we have 3 pictures, A, B, and C. Look at each picture carefully, and we will read some points or some texts, and we have to choose which picture will be suitable for which text. How to plan a creative writing task. Here he's doing what? He's creating. He thinks out of the box. هو بيفكر خارج الصندوق. He's trying to be creative. بيحاول يبقى مبتكر. First, think of as many ideas as you can. What will the house look like? What will it be made of? What will be different to houses of today? You can write down or draw your ideas. Use your imagination. What's the meaning of the word imagination? Imagination, to be able to visualize. Visualize the images. Visualize the pictures. يعني to think in a creative way, or to try to visualize the pictures or the persons you have met before. Imagination يعني الخيال. بحاول أفكر بطريقة مبتكرة. بحاول أحول الأفكار اللي أنا بفكر فيها لimages، لصور أو لpictures in my mind. تمام؟ Imagination الخيال. طيب decide which of your ideas are the best. Keep the other ideas for another time. تاني مرحلة you have to decide. الديسيجن القرار. which of your ideas are the best. أي القرارات هي الأحسن. Of course it's picture number أو picture letter B، لأن في المرحلة دي هو قرر which which idea he is going to apply أو هينفذها. The last thing, finally think about your best ideas in more detail. You have to think in the details. الأفكار أو الديتيلز بتاعة المشروع اللي أنت بتعتمد عليه. يبقى it's picture letter E. تمام؟ Okay. You can change any ideas that don't work. In this stage في المرحلة دي أنت عندك الأوبشن to change or to add anything or to add more details to your project or to your idea. للفكرة اللي حضرتك بتفكر فيها. تمام؟ Okay. Let's speak together بقى. If I ask you to plan a house، لو طلبت من حضرتك ان انت تعمل planning او تعمل plan لhouse of the future using the ideas from writing skills. ايه الايدياز اللي حضرتك هتستخدمها في الرايتنج سكيلز اللي احنا كنا بنتكلم عليها؟ اول حاجه الفيرست ستيب you have to draw a plan. لازم تصمم البلان او الخطه اللي حضرتك هتمشي عليها. Next, think about the materials, shape and size. You have to think in the materials. ايه الماتيريالز اللي هتستخدمها؟ المواد. هتستخدم glass, stone, sand, etc. ايه النوع اللي هتستخدمه؟ الشيب بتاعه هيبقى round هيبقى rectangular هيبقى triangular. which shape and the size. You want to build a huge house, a small house, a house, spacious, etc. ايه السايز اللي حضرتك هتختاره؟ بعد كده think about what rooms it will or won't have. ايه الرومز او الحاجات اللي حضرتك هتحتاج تضيفها؟ ايه recreational room for example to have your own room for entertainment. هتعمل room او مكان خاص للاستمتاع. You will have your PlayStation, you will have your MP3 etc. ايه تاني؟ ايه ال other rooms اللي ممكن تحب تكون موجودة في الفيوتشر هاوس بتاعك؟ Think about where the house will be and who will live in it. مين اللي هيعيش معاك في البيت ده؟ مين الأفراد اللي هيكونوا متواجدين فيه؟ Think about what technology it will have. What are the different electronic devices هتبقى موجودة في المكان ده؟ ايه الأجهزة الإلكترونية اللي هتبقى موجودة في الفيوتشر هاوس بتاعك؟ ايه؟ طيب let's بقى read a paragraph كده about houses in the future. البيوت اللي هتبقى موجودة في المستقبل. Let's read it together. In my opinion, I think that life in the future will be completely different. في رأيي أعتقد أن الحياة في المستقبل هتبقى مختلفة تماماً. For example, houses in the future will be different to our houses today. لو أخذنا ال houses كexample, they are completely different. طيب إيه تاني؟ Be made of plastic bricks, a lot of glass and metal. Everything will be controlled by electronics. وطبعا كل حاجة هتبقى اللي بيتحكم فيها الالكترونيك gadgets أو الأجهزة الإلكترونية. The garden will be on the roof because there won't be much space. There will be chargers for electric cars. احنا قلنا لازم هيبقى فيه chargers. All people will use لأن كل الناس هيستخدموا electric cars. Electricity from solar panels. Electric cars in the future. Robots will do all the housework. الروبوتس هيعملوا كل الواجبات المنزلية. People will get electricity from solar panels and wind turbines. Drones will bring food and parcels. الطائرات اللي هي بعيدة التحكم هي دي اللي هتنقل لنا الطرود والوجبات أو الأكل. I wish to live in the future and be able to enjoy all these privileges. يعني أتمنى أن أعيش في الفيوتشر وأقدر أستمتع بكل المميزات والخصائص الرائعة دي. Okay, a writing tip. Always include an introductory or a topic sentence. زي ما عملنا في الباراجراف بدأنا بالintroductory أو introduction أو topic sentence عشان تعرفني أنا بتكلم على إيه. إحنا عشان نقدر نحدد إن إحنا we are talking about the features of life in the future. بعد كده that explains what the text will be about. الحاجات اللي بتشرح التوبيك سنتنس اللي بتعرفنا التكست دي هتبقى عن ايه او الباراجراف ده هيتكلم mainly عن ايه. When you need to order events in a text, remember to use words like first, within, وfinally. After the topic sentence هنعمل الillustration. We will write in details what we are talking about. وهنبدأ نستخدم some words or some expressions like first يعني في البداية, at the beginning في المقدمة, then, after that بعد كده. تمام؟ Okay. And of course we can use finally at the end of our paragraph. Okay. Let's بقى answer this. Complete the table with these words: brick, drone, electric car, glass, metal, oven, plastic, rectangular, roof, round, solar panel, square, stone, tap, triangular, wind turbine. These are the most of vocabulary we have explained through the session or through the unit, and we have to divide these two categories. عندنا الماتيريالز المواد الخام, عندنا الاولد objects, عندنا المودرن objects الحاجات الحديثة, والشيبس أو الأشكال. Let's بقى في الماتيريالز طبعا we have the glass الزجاج, الميتال المعدن، بلاستيك البلاستيك، الستون أو الحجر. الأولد أوبجكتس بقى عندنا البريكس اللي هي الطوب، الأوفن الفرن. It's a device or electric device to cook or to heat food or to bake. الأوفن أو الفرن. الروف عندنا التوب of the building. والتاب أو الحنفية it's a device by which أو a tool by which I can control the flow of water. بقدر أتحكم في انسياب المية اللي بينزل لي. بعد كده المودرن اوبجكت زي ايه؟ الدرون طبعا، الدرون اللي هي الطائرة اللي بالتحكم عن بعد. الالكتريك كار أو العربيات الكهربائية. السولار بانل أو البطاريات الشمسية. والويند توربين أو مولدات الطاقة من الرياح. الشيبس عندنا rectangular شكل مستطيلي. الراوند الشكل الدائري اللي هو the shape of the circle sorry. السكوير المربع الشكل المربع. and the last thing we have the triangular أو الشيب المثلثي اللي هو الشيب of the triangle أو المثلث. تمام؟ أوكي. Complete the sentences with the correct word from the box. This is the last exercise we have today to check our understanding about Unit 10. Cool, earthquake, space, worm. It was hot outside, but it was nice and in my bedroom. Nice and, of course, nice and cool. بارد. My mother wants to buy a new sofa. عايزة تشتري كنبة جديدة أو couch جديدة, but I don't think we have a for it in our living room. We haven't a. Exactly. We have space, but I don't think we have no space for it in our living room. بعد كده, my aunt made us some bread, and when we ate it, it was still a excellent. Warm كان لسه دافئ. Some houses fell to the ground after the were destroyed. اتدمرت after the, of course, the earthquake أو الزلزال. Okay, I hope that you got all the information we have covered in this unit. I think that now you are able to illustrate or express yourselves better and to talk about your dreams about future أو أحلامكم تجاه المستقبل, how we can use well and use well not to talk about some actions could happen in the future. And I hope that you enjoyed our session and see you next time, inshallah. Bye.